Hi, did you know that if you know 3,000 words in the English language, you can pretty much say everything you need to say? I'm teaching you 3,000 words in 3,000 days. Closed. A synonym of closed might be shut. Closed, shut. His eyes are closed. This man closed the door. Closed. So we can use closed if we say he closed the door. I'm using it as a verb in the past tense. His eyes are closed. I'm using it as an adjective describing the state of his eyes. And shut is the synonym. A physical state. It might describe the door closed. The store was closed for renovations with a sign on the door indicating they'd reopen next month. The store was closed. It could be an emotional barrier. After the argument, he became emotionally closed off, refusing to talk about his feelings. Now, pay attention to those prepositions that come after our words. For example, closed off. We use, this is a phrasal, a phrase, he was closed off, talks about emotions. He was closed is less common. You would say it was closed, referring to a place that was closed and you couldn't get through. If someone is closed off, we're talking about the emotional closing. I'm not willing to talk about that. It's not happening. This is closed. The case was closed. After the judge delivered the final verdict, the case was closed, leaving no room for further appeal. So that's what the case was closed means. There is no room for further discussion or appeal. Case closed. And we use this in arguments too. If you're just talking with your significant other, you might say, I'm sorry, case closed. There's no room for more discussion on this. She felt a sense of regret as the job application window closed, realizing she had missed her chance. Another word for closed might be barrier. If something is closed to you, it's because you have a barrier in front of you, something that stops you. So a certain university might be closed to you because you don't have enough money for it, or it's not closed for everybody. It's just closed because you don't have the right background. You don't have enough money, or you don't have the right name. You come from the wrong country. Whatever it is, that is closed to you. It's a barrier. All right. Secrecy. The meeting was held behind closed doors with only a few trusted members allowed to attend. Now, think about the politics in your country. Do most of the decisions happen behind closed doors? I think a lot of them do in the United States. I know in higher education, many decisions are made behind closed doors. I find that working in a for-profit company, they are more transparent. We can see them a little bit easier because they have to report these things to a board that makes money off of these decisions. But I find that in higher ed and in the government, a lot of those decisions are made behind closed doors. There's no transparency. You can't see what's behind that. So the opposite of closed might be open. Open is the opposite of closed. Closing and closer are the noun. A closer, that's not closer. Okay, it looks like closer. Closer means my hands are far apart and now they're getting closer. But that's not this word. Closer. Closer is a person who finishes the deal, like a salesperson. If you go to buy a car, you might talk to a person in the car dealership. You talk to that person, they show you the car, they might even go on the ride with you. And then when it's time to work through the contracts, you go in and talk to a different person. That different person is the closer, the one that finishes the deal with you, and you are able to buy the car from the closer. Close is the verb. That means it's open, it's closed. Close. I close my hands. The closed cafe was my favorite. So the closed cafe, closed can be an adjective. Closing can also be an adjective. The closing arguments were made by the novice attorney. Looks like I spelled attorney wrong. Okay, the closing arguments. So what kind of arguments are they? They're the last arguments that happened in the trial. The closing scene of a play is the last scene that happens. So the closing something is the last thing that happens. And there is no adverb for closed. All right. I really hope that you enjoyed this word today. I really hope that you practice it, use it every day. Use it 5 times today, even if you're just talking to yourself. The more you use it and the more it comes through your mouth, the better you will remember it, and it becomes part of your ability to speak. So good luck with your practice, and I hope to see you back in the next lesson.